Johnny Depp sat quietly in his dimly lit study, the soft hum of a fan filling the silence. On his desk lay a letter, a formal invitation to the Cannes Film Festival. Just a year ago, such an honor felt like a distant dream, crushed under the weight of public scrutiny and courtroom drama. Now it symbolized more than just a career milestone. It was a testament to resilience. As he stared at the letter, memories of betrayal and doubt flashed through his mind. Yet beneath the scars, there was a fire, a renewed passion to prove his worth to the world. The courtroom was packed, the air heavy with tension. Every camera was fixed on Johnny, capturing every flicker of emotion on his face. Accusations flew, painting him as a monster, a shadow of the man beloved by millions. Yet, as the trial unfolded, a different story emerged. A story of perseverance, of standing firm against a tide of negativity. The world watched, polarized by the spectacle. Support poured in from fans who believed in his innocence, while others questioned his past. The media thrived on sensationalism, dissecting every word, every expression. But Johnny, though visibly worn, stood his ground. His testimony was raw, honest, and emotional, a glimpse into the vulnerability behind the headlines. When the verdict was announced, clearing his name, a collective gasp echoed through the room. For Johnny, it wasn't just a legal victory, it was a reclamation of identity. The trial had stripped him bare, but it also laid the foundation for his comeback. In the months following the trial, Johnny retreated to his French countryside estate, a haven far from the prying eyes of Hollywood. The sprawling vineyards and quaint cobblestone paths became the backdrop for his healing. Here he found solace in painting, music, and quiet reflection. His home transformed into a creative sanctuary, walls adorned with abstract art, canvases splattered with vivid colors, each piece telling a story of pain, survival, and hope. Nights were spent strumming his guitar, his soulful melodies echoing through the stillness. It was during this period of introspection that Johnny rediscovered his passion for acting. Scripts began arriving, directors eager to work with the man who had weathered the storm. But Johnny was selective, choosing roles that resonated deeply. He wanted his comeback to mean something, to reflect the journey he had been on. Slowly but surely, the pieces of his life began to fit together, forming a new, stronger version of himself. The call came from a visionary director, a script unlike any Johnny had read before. The character was complex, a man grappling with loss and redemption, a reflection of Johnny's own journey. He felt an instant connection, knowing this role was his chance to reintroduce himself to the world. The set was abuzz with anticipation as Johnny stepped into character. The crew, initially starstruck, quickly recognized his dedication. He was no longer just a star. He was an actor with something to prove. His portrayal was raw, layered with emotions that could only come from lived experience. Word spread about Johnny's performance, generating buzz in the industry. Co-stars praised his professionalism, calling it a masterclass in resilience and artistry. As filming wrapped, the director pulled Johnny aside, his voice trembling with emotion. "You didn't just play the role, you lived it." For Johnny, it was more than validation. It was a reminder that his best work was still ahead of him. The night of the Cannes Film Festival premiere was electric. Paparazzi lined the red carpet, flashes illuminating the grandeur of the event. As Johnny stepped out of his car, dressed in a sharp black tuxedo, the crowd erupted in applause. Fans held signs, some with messages of support that brought tears to his eyes. Walking the carpet, Johnny exuded confidence. Yet, behind the sunglasses, there was a hint of vulnerability, a man deeply aware of the journey that had brought him here. Inside the theater, as the lights dimmed and the film began, Johnny sat quietly, his heart racing. When the credits rolled, the audience rose to their feet, clapping thunderously. The ovation lasted for minutes, a rare moment of unanimous acclaim. Johnny bowed his head, overwhelmed by emotion. This wasn't just a celebration of the film, it was a celebration of resilience, of a man who had fought his way back from the brink and emerged stronger than ever. With the success of his film, Johnny began receiving recognition not just as an actor, but as an artist. Galleries approached him to exhibit his paintings, which had become a visual diary of his journey. Critics marveled at the raw emotion in his work, describing it as a window into his soul. Music, too, became a significant outlet. Johnny joined forces with legendary musicians for a new album, the lyrics reflecting themes of loss, forgiveness, and hope. Each song resonated with fans, many of whom had followed his journey closely. The combination of acting, painting, and music allowed Johnny to rebuild his image on his terms. Interviews showcased a reflective, grounded man, far removed from the chaotic persona the media had once painted. As he stood on stage at a gallery opening surrounded by his art, Johnny smiled. He had found redemption not just in the eyes of the world, but within himself. Johnny's connection with his fans deepened in ways he hadn't anticipated. At conventions and meet and greets, he met people who shared how his journey had inspired them to overcome their struggles. One fan handed him a letter, her hands trembling. "Your resilience saved me," she said, tears streaming down her face. Moved by their stories, Johnny began dedicating time to causes close to his heart. He visited children's hospitals, bringing joy to young fans battling illness. His appearances were unpublicized, quiet acts of kindness that reflected his gratitude for the second chance he'd been given. The media, once his harshest critic, now painted him as a man who had turned his pain into purpose. Headlines shifted from scandal to redemption, highlighting his philanthropy and artistry. For Johnny, this wasn't about repairing his image. It was about giving back to the people who had stood by him when he needed it most. Years later, Johnny Depp's legacy was one of resilience, artistry, and compassion. His story became a beacon for those facing adversity, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is hope for redemption. In a reflective interview, Johnny said, "I've lived 1,000 lives, made 1,000 mistakes, but I wouldn't trade any of it. It's all part of who I am." His journey inspired a generation, proving that falling isn't what defines us, it's how we rise. As the camera panned out, Johnny smiled. He was no longer just an actor or a star. He was a survivor, an icon reborn. Johnny Depp's journey is a testament to resilience and the power of self-reinvention. From navigating personal storms to reclaiming his place as a beloved actor and cultural icon, his story resonates deeply with fans worldwide. Johnny reminds us all that even in the face of adversity, it's never too late to rebuild, to rediscover purpose, and to inspire others. His enduring legacy, both on and off the screen, speaks to his unwavering spirit and commitment to his craft. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold tales of legendary Hollywood stars.